Thanks, Sharad. Thanks, Satish. So, guys, as Sharad and Satish were explaining about the idea about SS Agile Guru, how they set up this thing, right? And today we are into a summit, right? So they have actually, I would say, created a forum where next time you can also come and present a topic, right? So don't miss this opportunity, right, guys? So we are going to be coming up next summit next year, but this is a forum where you can come up with your own idea, present your topic, right? And this is the great forum, I would say, to learn. Now coming on the first topic today, right? So Chandrasekhar would be the one, the next one, right? He will be talk on the prompt engineering and the AI tools to become 5x of your version. So guys, trust me, everyone is talking about the chat GPT and some AI tools. So Chandra will go into deep on that in this topic. So I can just brief what Chandra is currently doing in the industry. So Chandra is an agile expert with 18 years of experience in IT, well versed with agile principles, right? And he coaches the team on Scrum, Kanban, and Scrumban, and also help the teams on scale using frameworks like SAFe. So Chandra, over to you now. We can start with you. You can share the screen now. Thank you. Chandra, you're on mute.
Sorry. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Now can you guys hear me and see my screen too?
Yeah, we can. Chandra.
Yes, we can.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Of course, I'm not seen ladies. Of course, there are. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Good evening to everyone. Okay, thank you for joining. Today's seminar. Of course, today's summit. Okay, I would like to extend the deepest gratitude to our organizations, of course, Satish and Sharad, okay, on this forum for giving me an opportunity to speak before this knowledgeable and, of course, discerning audience. It's truly honor to be here. Okay. We are about to embark the fascinating journey, okay, through the time and technology, a journey that takes us from the realms of the fiction to a cutting edge realities of today. Okay, why fiction? Of course, you'll definitely get to know about it. Okay, as we traverse the path, we'll also explore how prompt engineering, an emerging field in the AI and machine learning, is revolutionizing the way we interact with technology. Okay, with that, okay, what all I'll be covering in today's topic is, of course, what is prompt engineering, the yin and yang, of course, of prompt engineering, principles of prompt engineering, process of prompt engineering, tools and technique, and lots of demos and lots of case studies, which I've experienced or worked, on a regular basis. Okay, that's the thing, right? So let's begin our discussion. I'm sure everybody would have recognized this. Let me introduce you for the people who have not seen Doraemon so far, the character who was fascinated millions over the decades, right? Doraemon, a robotic cat from the 22nd century. Alongside him, we have a young Nobita or a young boy, indeed, and in need of intuitive solutions for his daily dilemmas. You might wonder what a robotic cat and an young boy have to do with prompt engineering. Well, let's understand that, right? Doraemon comes equipped with a fourth dimension pocket, right? The moment he opens up, that's where the pocket you see that. Okay, a reservoir of futuristic gadgets. These gadgets are one size fits all, rather than they are carefully selected and address Nobita's unique problems. Now, considering prompt engineering in the world of AI, much like Doraemon's fourth dimensional pocket, the ChatGPT it has a vast array of prompts at its disposal. And just as Doraemon tailors gadgets Nobita's needs, okay, prompt engineering aims, right? Prompt engineering aims to tailor the AI responses to specific requirements of the user. The system takes a prompt, processes it, provides the most fitting output, making it an adaptable and dynamic tool in the AI arsenal.
Chandrasekhar, we can't see the screen if you're sharing.
Can you please confirm? I am sharing.
Yeah, we can see.
We are able to see the screen.
Chandrasekhar, we can see your screen. Maybe request you to please rejoin.
Okay, thank you. So, in a sense, Doraemon could be considered as a world's first prompt engineer, aiding Nobita's, aiding with the help of aiding Nobita, okay, with contextually appropriate solutions, just to fine tune ChatGPT to do the users today, right? Okay. I mean, guys, I'm just getting feedback that people are not able to see the screen. They're able to see the PPT that Doraemon, this one, right?
Yes, we can
No,
see.
no, we cannot. I don't know how others
We
are able
cannot
to
see.
see.
See any
Mm.
PPT or any
Okay, I'll stop and represent the screen.
We are able to see you, Chandra, but we are not able to see your screen.
Okay, now.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
Okay, now.
No, not yet.
Okay. Speakers, I mean, sorry, the organizers, can you just, share the PPT which I'm actually provided? So people are not able to see the PPT. Is that okay?
Can everyone see it now?
Yes, we can see. We can
No.
see.
No.
No, I think only the organization facilitator only can see. We can't.
Okay, only the organization.
Yeah.
Now, on your YouTube, if I see, if I'll check YouTube there, I'm able to see your screen, but not on Zoom.
I think, guys, whenever I was actually trying to log in, it said that there is some settings which you have enabled. Only organizers can only see.
Now we can see. Now we can see.
Yeah. Now
Okay,
we are able to
okay.
see.
Yes,
Great,
yes,
please
yes.
go
We
ahead.
got the
Thanks.
we got
Thank you.
the settings changed. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. So I was kind of course, if you're actually seeing that now, okay. I was kind of trying to say that, of course, Nobita was our first let's say prompt engineer in a way, okay, and contextually, basically it's a fine-tuned chat GPT that what users use today, right? So so this is where the prompt engineering actually starts. So basically, if you look at, okay, we have the comparisons between how Nobita used to come up with solutions. In fact, the Nobita used to come up with solutions, as well as in the chat GPT with the which is a AI tool, would also come up with some sort of a solutions for whatever that you guys ask, right? Okay, moving on. Okay, so now again, from a fiction to a reality. So I would like to invoke another iconic character figure from a popular culture, of course, Tom Riddle's diary, and I'm sure everybody would have heard about Harry Potter series, right? In this magical world, which is created by J.K. Rowling, this diary serves as a communication between, I'm sure this is a movie clip scene, right? Where it says, okay, so it says, my name is Harry Potter, and then, it gives up that particular one, right? So that's the one. So this diary serves as a communication medium between the past and the present, allowing the users to interact with the stored consciousness, right? Now let's transport ourselves from the world of this magic and wizardly to the real world of artificial intelligence. What if I told you that the concept behind this particular Tom Riddle's diary isn't it entirely stuff of fiction anymore, but it's there today in the form of a chat GPT, right? Much like how the diary offered a tailored responses based on the questions posed to it. Okay, ChatGPT also engages the users and interactive dialogues using sophisticated algorithms and machine learning techniques. This AI tool, okay, analyzes user inputs via prompts and responds to contextually appropriate manner. While it may not store a piece of dark wizard's soul, it does harbor a vast amount of data and algorithms that facilitate the meaningful interactions. In fact, I wanted to spell this particular means that you can actually even train your chat GPT to load and give you an answers based upon the data that you actually input. I'll definitely show you that in the demonstration as well. So you see the line between this particular fiction and the reality, what we see in the movies, is like a kind of blurring. Okay. What once was a captivating plot device in the fancy novel is today's operational technology in the form of a ChatGPT, where it's aiding businesses, educators, researchers, individuals in numerous ways. This transition is a testament of how we come across of the realm of technology and artificial intelligence. From the movie screen to our computer screens, these advanced tools are no longer confined to the realm of imagination. They exist, and you have it today to actually experiment and live with them, right? Let's continue in unraveling this particular one. So the importance and the importance and evolution of prompt engineering. As we progress further into the presentation, of course, we arrive at a crucial junction where we discuss the importance of prompt engineering Okay, it's fascinating to trace the evolution of how we interact with the technology to find information or solutions. Many of us still recall the days of where, we used to go to Alta Vista, or Yahoo, Ask Jeevas, these were the internet browsers of those particular time. Interact fundamentally, fundamentally straightforward. Okay, you enter a keyword, okay, and the search engine, would try its best to match its relevant web pages. And it was a rudimentary form of prompting, yet groundbreaking at those times in 1990s. I'm sure everybody who are Agile Gurus here or people would have experienced that, and in the internet cafes and all that, right? So then comes the Google, okay, which revolutionizes the way we search introduction, introducing complex algorithms and context awareness. Google searches into account not just the keywords, but also uses the behavior, location, and even semantics. So it added three more dimensions to it, right? So now that's where the fourth dimension comes into play. Okay, this evolution in search technology was transferred, okay, and then still larger one-way interaction, because in Google we ask, okay, and the Google answers, but the system lacked the capability of a dynamic conversations or a deeper contextual understanding. Now let's talk about the next leap, which is a prompt engineering in AI. Particularly in the tools like ChatGPT, unlike search engines, we deal mostly in keywords and short queries. Prompt engineering allows us for an interactive and adaptive dialogue. The AI system takes your prompts, understands the concepts and a context actually, and then generates a detailed responses. It's not just about retrieving information anymore. It's about aiding decision making and creating content, answering complex questions, and even assisting the tasks like coding and data analytics. Okay, as we continue through this, okay, we understand how prompt engineering is changing the various sectors and domains. Okay, let's move on in understanding. But before we move on, okay, we also need to understand, right? Okay, by this particular quote from Vladimir Lenin. Okay, where there are decades where nothing happens, and there are weeks where this decades happen. This profound statement encapsulates the breakneck speed at which the technology and society are can transform, and nowhere it's sentimental more evident than the realm of prompt engineering. In the past, technology is often characterized by slow incremental advancement. However, the evolution of prompt engineering is glaringly exceptional. Within remarkable short span of time, we have witnessed a momentous shifts in the way we interact with machines, extract information, facilitate the AI-driven solutions, right? And you have numerous, apps that are coming up. Everything is like AI app and all that. But okay, is ChatGPT going to be there or not in the future? Okay, who knows, right? So basically, of course, the world itself, dinosaurs thought that the world is only for them, and one meteor came up and the evolution happened, and of course we were born. And of course, who knows, basically eventually what will happen, it is in the it's the evolution which decides what would stay. But how it actually evolves, okay, should we evolve with them is a question that we need to ask today. Okay, and so when we reflect in this particular quote, right, we are reminded that the transformative speed and the scope of today's technology advancement, just as there's a pivotal moment in history and redefine the societies. Okay, there's a groundbreaking innovations like prompt engineering that reshape our technological landscape. Okay, prompt engineering is not just ChatGPT. Okay, just hold on. We have a lot of things that we will do in the demonstration that we would understand out of it. Okay, let's take an example. See, this is the example prompt. Okay, I'm asking, I need a prototype of future-ready truck that uses electric lines, okay, compliance to safety and uses green fuel like solar on Indian roads and in HD quality, and a landscape image with Indian cities in the background. So, this is the prompt. Do you think ChatGPT will give you an answer? Guys,
Yes.
are you guys there? I mean, I don't know whether you can unmute yourself and speak. I'm sorry. I'm assuming that, you can unmute, but you think, what do you think, it would come up? Will ChatGPT give you an answer for this?
Chandra, people are
Should we
saying
try?
no.
It will
No.
give.
It will.
Yes.
It will give, but it will give you in the text format. What if I tell you, okay, this is the same prompt, will give you an answer, something like this. Can you see? Can you relate to the words that I've typed? I've typed future ready. I've typed truck. I've typed electric lines. That's why you'll see electric lines everywhere in all these particular pictures, right? And I've also told that, green fuel, okay, like solar, right? Okay, let's take the one image, much more in detail. Can you see solar panels on this? Okay. Say, for example, if somebody wants it, let's say government of India comes to you and ask you that, I wanted to design a truck, which is future ready, which will use solar only and this things like that. Okay, instead of starting from a blank canvas, okay, isn't it, this would actually give us a starting point to start with. I mean, I know, I'm sorry, mostly I'm getting into that mode of like, coaching, virtually, and where people can unmute and talk, but I'm just assuming that particular answer. I'm sure you all agree with me that, this
Yes.
is where we actually start, to begin with. So basically from scratch, we have already started with this, and then we can actually modify it. And of course, this is Mumbai. Of course, it is Mumbai. Of course, we can see a lot of skyscrapers behind. Okay. And solar panels are there, of course, electric, whatever, it's there. So this is, and what tool is this? This is actually Leonardo.ai. This is not ChatGPT, but Leonardo.ai. So what am I trying to say? Am I trying to say that, ChatGPT is not the only AI tool that we have? We have multiple other tools, which will use the same technique of prompt engineering. And that's where, today's topic. And when I said that, using prompt engineer, you can be a 5x of your version, which means that you will not start from scratch, but you'll already start from, okay, somewhere, where somebody has to be always, 3 or 4 steps ahead. Okay. So with that, okay, now give me, okay, I can ask, can you guess the prompt for this? A similar prompt, but I just said, auto rickshaw. And I said like, green future, Mumbai city background and all those particular things. And trust me, all these particular images are, you can download it and you can copyright it for yourself. So basically these are, you will not get the same, Google images if you try to search it, right? So these are like unique. And the prompt engineering gives you an output which is only unique for you. Okay, the same question if I ask it, this will not be the same result that it would come up. Like unlike Google, you use the same image, right? So that's the power of prompt engineering. Okay, now one of the most extraordinary phenomenon of the world's artificial intelligence technology over recent years is swift rise in the prompt engineering. Of course, there are so many jobs, and people will try to sell you that if you don't learn prompt engineering, if you don't adopt to the ChatGPT, if you don't do a ChatGPT, you might lose a job, or AIs would actually take out this particular job and all that. So those are all scary techniques. Okay, do not worry about it, because I'm going to give you all the answers to such scenarios. Also, why it is like, why do they sell it like that? It is just to make sure that you tag their AI tools to your this thing. That's it. But otherwise, both exist. But let's get into details of it, okay, a little later. So it's not just the incremental step forward. It's a leap, that pushing the boundaries, what machines can comprehend and how they interact with us. But how does that mean for various sectors? Like, in healthcare, prompt engineering aids in accurate diagnosis, okay, diagnostics, okay, enable healthcare professionals for data-driven decisions and with confidence. Finance is how is now possible to get a financial forecast and insights tailored to individual needs. Okay, all at a prompt of a question rather than just browsing through a Google, right? Entertainment, ever wondered like how platforms like know what movies or songs that you are in a mood for? Like behind this there's an intuition, there's an AI tailored prompt for it, right? Okay, education, personalized learning paths, okay, adaptive. And like for example, if you're planning to change your career, okay, moving on to something else, how ChatGPT actually will help you as a ChatGPT agent to become a better in that particular version. Students are experiencing more customized and responsive educations than ever before, right? And I think in my introduction what was missed was I'm a BE in computer science engineering, and I recently, in fact just yesterday, I completed my MTech in data science and machine learning. So the way how they all work, I know how the ChatGPT and all this particular models works in terms of the AI. Okay, maybe if the ChatGPT would have come a little much earlier, my CGPA would have actually increased from 7.86 to, which is currently 9.3, maybe in the first semester, but it came only in the last 2 semesters. Okay, that's where like, it has like, jumped. So basically you can see the increase in the number of the percentage of the students. E-commerce, of course, from chatbots to product recommendations. Okay, the shopping experience is also transformed, and we'll see so many virtual shops and things like that, which are, of course, there's nobody else, it's just the Reliance itself is actually doing an experimentation in like all these technologies of getting good e-commerce experience for it. Like we don't have to really go to US companies to do it. Okay, in essence of this swift rising prompt engineering, it is not just technological marvel, it's a paradigm shift, okay, towards way how we interact with machines. It's not about just Googling about it. So let's delve deeper into it, like how this whole thing is structured. Okay, ChatGPT today 3.2, 3.5, and now 4, maybe tomorrow 5. Okay, so maybe tomorrow it might, day after tomorrow it might not exist. Okay, but prompt engineering would always be there because most of the applications that are being developed today, okay, uses this particular prompt engineering. So it's very essential for you to know how to interact when you're interacting with the system, on a screen or any of this particular chat window. How do you interact with it? It's purely depends upon you, how you should know a chat window. But of course, with every technology, you have yin and yang of prompt engineering, right? So we essentially explore the balance of the benefits, which is yin, and the challenges, which is, or limitations, which is yang. Much like this ancient Chinese concept of yin and yang, while seemingly opposite forces are, you can see that opposite forces are interlinked and interdependent. Prompt engineering too have a harmonious dichotomy. So when we say in the positive forces are that it's user-centric design, it's a scalable, it's dynamic, okay, and it's specific for a desired particular task. Okay, and whereas the yang part of it, it's over reliance on it. While prompts can be powerful, over reliance on them without human judgment can lead to skewed results, okay, or oversights, right? And ethical considerations. This is a topic which we will not touch upon because it's still pressing concern where people are still trying to address it. Of course, there is a there's a way how to deal with it. Okay, I'll talk about it later. Okay, complexity, and maybe like crafting a perfect prompt isn't it easy, straightforward. If you really wanted to explore something, let's say you wanted to be a product owner. Okay, if you really don't know the technology itself, if you really don't know the domain in which you wanted to become a product owner, okay, it will not give you the right results, or it will you should know that. So that's where it is not just about knowing how to write English, it's knowing about the domain also if you really wanted to better out of it. So that's the part of it, when it comes to yin and yang of prompt engineering. I'm sure everybody would have seen this particular meme in WhatsApp or many statuses, where it says that humans are hooked and the machines are learning. Okay, as humans, of course, we are increasingly reliant on digital platform for entertainment, infotainment, okay, and socialization, and machines are using this particular interaction too, while machines are using this interactions to learn, adapt, and improve. Truly, and so, but how does this whole thing happens? Okay, so to truly understand the cyclic nature of the prompt engineering, okay, I would like you to travel with me, for a moment in the bustling streets of Indian market. I would like to take up an example. Let's say bustling streets of Indian market, like a bazaar, like a Chandni Chowk, or like anything that's there in Mumbai. Okay, let's compare meticulously on crafting this perfect prompt engineering with the age-old practice of bargaining in an Indian market. So, for example, first is defining an object. Imagine you're entering a market with a clear intent, like what to buy. Just that what to buy. Okay, just a beautiful sari or a handcraft or an artifact. Okay, in prompt engineering, we start with defining our exact objective. What do we want AI to achieve? Right, that's the first step. Second is the initial response. Say, for example, I'm talking about the cyclic nature of prompt engineering. So here, let's say the initial response, you have found what a perfect item that you need to buy. Now you've made an initial offer to the vendor. Okay, much like creating the first draft of prompt. Okay, it's stating point and grounded to your research and in your intuition with respect to prompt. Testing the AI response. So that's the third one, right? The vendor response, in our markets, this is where the vendor counters your offer, sets up the stage for a negotiation dance, right? Okay, in prompt engineering, we input our draft prompts and to see how AI responds. Okay, and then evaluate the next step is the evaluating the output, right? Your like say, and the vendors, you provide a counter offer to the vendors offer, whatever it is. Okay, and then is it reasonable or not? Is it too high, too low? Just like evaluating the price. Okay, we critically assess the AI output. Does it match your expectations? Is it accurate or relevant? Okay, we give that particular feedback. And then the dance of negotiation, ensures that you might counter offer, and again about the nuances of your offer, sweetness of this particular deal, or pointing out the flaws of this particular product. There it is actually not good, so that's why I'm offering you this money. Okay, similarly, we refine our prompts, tweaking the words and rearranging the structure and ensuring that the AI gets the closer and desired output for what we are actually looking at. Okay, so this is the cyclic nature of prompt engineering. Okay, these are not the steps of prompt engineering, but this is the cyclic nature of prompt engineering. So this cycle repeats, until you get the desired output. This, and basically this, what so happens is with this experience, you go to a different vendor, you do the same thing. And over a period of time, obviously, whenever we go to Mumbai or Delhi or anything, we obviously call the local guys, right? Why do we call the local guys? We call the local guys because they would have had that particular learning, from this to negotiate with this particular vendors, they would have learned it, right? In an essence, okay, when we compare the similar nature to the prompt engineering, it's like, rhythmic, iterative, in case of prompting. Okay, deep understanding of counterparts, AI as a vendor, and both aim at the most value, okay, precise outcome. It's an ongoing cycle between every turn, right? So that's what is the cyclic nature of like prompt engineering is all about. Now let's draft a perfect prompt. As we delve deeper into the prompt engineering, it's imperative we understand the nuances, steps that lead to the perfect prompt, right? The picture the masterful sculptor, of course, it's there in the slide that, sculptor, right? Chiseling away the block of stone. Okay, each stroke refines a piece and adding depth, the dimensions and details. That's the journey how you will embark it now. So basic prompt, we will talk about an initial cut of the stone. Okay, at this stage, the prompt is simple, direct question or statement. Okay, and then you add a context, that is, breathing the life. Imagine our sculpture begins the shape of the contours and, figures. The AI, in a way, the AI, which is intelligent, not intuitive, but adding the context, it gives us a direction. Instead of a basic query, we might say, consider the vastness of the universe and give us the overview of our solar system, highlighting the unique feature, or explain the rotation of revolution periods of a planet in a solar system. That could be our next. Whereas maybe the basic prompt could be say, what is the solar system, right? That's one. Then assigning the role. This is the third step, which is very important, right? As at this particular juncture, the sculpture, like, whoever you're writing a prompt, right, is a sculpture, is determining the pose and expression, the emotion of this particular sculpture. Like so you wanted a very harsh mail, you wanted a very sweet mail, you wanted a very convincing mail, you wanted a very thankful tone. Okay, this tone, it could be an historic recounting the discovery of the solar system, or you can say, in this case, it could be a historian who's discovering the solar system, or a teacher explaining the solar system to curious students. By doing so, we channel that AI response to a certain narrative and a tone, right? So tone here matters. But how does the system understands, what sort of a tone? You wanted a tone in the form of a laughter way, you wanted in a simple English, you wanted in a complex English. All this is what you are actually going to be putting up. And also, then the desired output. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate this, like, when we talk about a desired output. Okay, for one simple example, let me take you to my one of the screens, right? Recently, of course, okay, one of in one of our our apartment, okay, we kind of celebrated a Ganesha festival. Okay, and the Ganesha festival, which was consisting of like at least 600 apartments, and I was part of the managing committee, where we need to come up with all the plans, steps that is needed, and all that. Okay, then when I took the help of Chat GPT and asked it, like, say for example, I asked this is at the end, but let me go at the beginning. I asked, okay, list of 15 to do activities, decoration and housekeeping, along with electricity, water, and safety. And these are the people that, in a CSV format. You see, basically my prompt started much earlier. I just told first of all, I asked a blank question asking, what is the Ganesha festival? I need to celebrate a Ganesha festival, okay, in our apartment. What all things that was needed? So it said idle selection, safety measures, cultural program, community engagement, food arrangements, waste management, social media, education. Okay, this was the start. Okay, and then I said, day 5, I asked them, like, there are particular days that we know which started with, like, 19th of September up to 23rd. Give me a detailed plan. Then it gave me a detailed plan. Okay, and I asked for a detailed plan in the like I told them that who are my committee members. Like, say for example, Puja committee is myself, Anu, Jaya, like that. Prasad committee would be like this particular people. And I assigned that particular task. And then whenever I asked a question, like, give me a detailed this one, who will be. So there it started actually assigning names. Like that, I added more tasks. Okay, and then train the model. Okay, like I took an example of, like, how a Ganesh Mandali, how a Ganesha Puja is done. Okay, what prayers that need to be included. I trained the model. Okay, and then I asked for a output in the CSV format. Say, for example, I need, as a puja committee activist from 15 September to 18 September. Okay, give me the actual puja and what all need to be collected. So you see, this is all dates. Okay, dates and the status of this particular activity. And I've clearly told, okay, I need a serial number, of course. Okay, the activity, the name, responsible person, due date, status, and all that. And then I simply just copy and paste it in the CSV. It will become an Excel. And then like this, okay, I can use it. So this is like, ChatGPT is not just for only programmers or anybody, but you can do anything and everything. Okay, if you know how to prompt. Okay, moving back to our presentation, right? So this is how you actually, an example of how you, draft a perfect prompt. Okay, moving on. Okay, so but there is a misconception, right? I need to also be clear, because when people are telling that AIs are actually taking our jobs and things like that, but we need to understand that what is the difference it is. In today, we need to address that particular topic, because there are numerous debates and discussions, in various forums. Is artificial intelligence going to take our jobs? No, it's actually the age-old fear. Historically, when every technology leap that comes in, like say for example, be it machines, or be it like when the train steam engines that came up, there was a fear that everybody would lose a job and things like that, right? But we adopted, it took a lot of time for us to adopt, but we do not have that same liberty as the old timers, that in order, if you do not adopt to this particular AI or a chat GPT, or like the prompt engineering, we might be left alone. So basically, so it is not the chat GPT which will going to replace your jobs, but your job will be replaced by a person who knows chat GPT, or person who knows prompt engineering. That is where you need to understand. So for example, AI, a tool, it is not a rival. Artificial intelligence is in a sense is a culmination of human ingenuity. Okay, and then it's a tool that is crafted much like the wheel of a printing press. It's designed to amplify the abilities, okay, not to unspur them. While AI can analyze a vast data set and perform repetitive tasks with unmatched speed and accuracy, it lacks the depth of human emotion, the nuances of cultural understanding, and the richness of experiential wisdom, right? And then it is, AI always complements the strength. Like human possesses creativity, empathy, intuition. We are a storytellers, dreamers, innovators. Okay, AI on the other hand excels in pattern recognition, data processing, execution, and defined tasks, right? Instead of viewing these as a contrasting capabilities, let's organize ourselves, okay, and then learn the prompt engineering, and let's organize, recognize, and complement each other's strength, where combined, we can produce a much marvelous and a much better results than the future, right? So the future is all about collaboration, right? We stride forward into the future, interwoven with AI. Okay, it's essential to remember that technology is an enabler, but not, and also a disruptor, of course. Okay, it can replace the laughter. It cannot replace the laughter, which when we share a joke, it cannot replace that particular laughter, or an empathy felt during the conversations, or spark a new idea. This is all related to the humans who can actually do it. And as long as that particular job is there, okay, unless it is not repetitive, we are good with it, right? So it is not a replacement, but it's a prompt engineering is always about, or AI is always about, like the part uh is always about a partnership with each other. So like how is the prompt workflow diagram? So basically how we can use in order to overcome this particular fear of like somebody is kind to replace without knowing this, right? It's very simple, right? Human thinks, that's where it starts. Human prompts the AI processor, AI processes. Once armed with a clear objective, human crafts specific prompts. Okay, these prompts acts as a guiding light for AI. Think of them as questions you might pose exceptionally knowledgeable colleague. Okay, as soon as the prompts are fed, the AI develops a deep into vast reservoir of its information, because it is loaded with millions and millions of data sets, and then that's why it gives you a good response. But which humans cannot do it, right? We cannot be reading all the books, but AI can read all the books. Okay, and then once the prompt, whatever the results that comes up, human builds and refine. Okay, but our role doesn't end there, right? The initial AI responses are just a raw material. Humans take them, apply layers of thinking or a context, okay, and creativity, okay, and we mold and refine, ensure that refine so that we ensure that, we get the accurate, but also relevant and engaging content. For example, if you ask me whatever the presentation that I'm making, I did not do it in an AI, because I can show you the version of what AI generated. I asked for a prompt engineering 25 slides. It gave me a lot of prompts. It gave me a slide. I'm sure I'll going to, if we have time, I'll show it to you. But those slides, are nowhere related to this. So that this is where, but the idea, but the content to, to put this into this one, okay, was originally given it. I did not really start from the scratch. I started with something, in hand, and then, developed on it, right? So humans delivers the final outcome. This is how the overall workflow, prompt workflow works, when it comes to using it. Now, of course, with every as we navigate to the technological, right, the technology, so there are three distinct groups that emerge, basically today. When we today, let me explain this particular technology. Say for example, when YouTube was introduced, right, there are first set of people who are called opposers, right? Every technology, okay, is met with a share of skepticism and resistance. So when YouTube was first introduced, many critics doubted that its viability. They had worried about copyright infringement, quality control, potential of misuse. Opposers and essentials, and any, opposers are essentially are those, who will who challenge the innovators to address the valid concern, leading to a better and a safer platforms. That's what opposers do. Whereas in case of a builders, like, the true visionaries, okay, these are the people who early adopters, like, so for basically when people started using, like, the content creators who are making millions, by and the educators who actually adopted the YouTube to share the, educational content and things like that. So these are the creators or developers or innovators. These are the minds who saw the opportunity, in the YouTube, right? These are the builders. Then there comes the last set of users who are but certainly not the least. This is the users. Their role cannot be understood. They are the heartbeat of the platform, like YouTube, because it's the number of subscribers and everything, based upon that, right? For casual viewers to a content creators, users turn YouTube into a simple video sharing platform to a diverse community of educators, entertainers, activists, and so much more. And of course, today also we are using our YouTube to spread this particular knowledge about a prompt engineering, right? So they are the validators of the builder's vision and proof of concept. Those are the three sets of people. In the similar way, we had a meet in the Goa. When I told my friends about ChatGPT, obviously when all guys meet, they were talking about, okay, can your ChatGPT write a story? Okay, can ChatGPT write a story which is like, very adult in nature? No, ChatGPT does not write it. Okay, trust me. Okay. And so there are people, like, who are like, opposers. Oh, this will not take away my job. If we start, if people start believing that, no, it will not impact me, trust me, then you are in that particular opposers, or like, people who does not adopt to. But there will be a lot of, people who will start adopting, and they will become better. So prompt engineering is here to stay. It is not that ChatGPT might go away, but prompt engineering would always go ahead and stay. So that's where every revolution in the technology undergoes scrutiny, refinement, okay, widespread adoption. Recognize the potential amidst opposition paves the way for the innovation, right? So that's what, in conclusion, I would say. So these are the forces of any technology that comes up. Now, the dual nature of this, ChatGPT versus the human. See, as we stand in the forefront of this particular technology advancement of AI, right? So it's imperative to recognize that the journey of technology is intrinsically linked to our own evolution as humans. Today's discussion brings a profound realization of dual evolution of humans and machines. The role of a prompt engineering is, right, the prompt engineer stands as a beacon of revolutionary journey. It bridges chasm between the human intuition and machine precisions. While machines are adept in processing the vast amount of data, unparalleled speeds. That's what I kept telling in the previous one also. Okay, so the evolutionary nature of this particular technology, as we all as a face that, the technology too is subject to evolution. So like today, that's why we have 3.5, ChatGPT 4. You'll see a lot of difference between that. Tomorrow it is said that, ChatGPT 5, when it comes, it is actually 100 times much faster, and 100 times stronger than what we have currently. So in summarization, so humans and machines are not just one of the coexistence, but a co-evolution. So we need to evolve. So even machines also need to evolve Today we are talking about intelligent machines, IoT, and all that particular things. As we guide and shape this technology and trajectory, okay, through like initiatives like prompt engineering, technology in turn reshapes unlimited possibilities for you, right? So, like say for example, how Orkut or MySpace, was completely replaced by Facebook, and now Facebook is like many users from the Facebook are moving to only Instagram, and then like the WhatsApp statuses like that. So it's going to continuously evolve. So the tools of today might be stepping stones for tomorrow. While they change, the art of effective communication with AI, prompt engineering is here to stay. That's all I can emphasize on, like why prompt engineering should be there. Let's understand, the difference between two different things. If you understand the difference between ideation and execution, okay, you will understand that where to use a chat GPT, where you have to use your human brain. Okay, let's understand. Okay, we often unique perspective. Let's compare the AI capabilities. So what AI does is it does a precision and consistency. AI operates with unparalleled levels of precision. Whether it's analyzing a vast data sets, perform a repetitive task, AI ensures consistent, error-free outcomes every time. Processing power. In the realm of execution, AI capability processes, analyzes large quantities of data at a lightning speed. That is where when I ask ChatGPT to read a particular, I'll show you that example. Read a particular the way how we write user stories. Okay, it read. Okay, and trust me. Okay, for example, it's a time for a demo when it says product owner. See, for example, what I did, I first fed information to ChatGPT, asking it. I told ChatGPT to actually read a particular content. See, for example, read a PDF. How to read a PDF? I asked, and then it told me how to read a PDF. Okay, I did all that particular things, and then I gave a PDF for it to read. So, and then the PDF title, Writing Good User Stories with Agile Requirement, appears to be in workshop. It listed down, it read it. So basically I gave it here. Okay, read it from this particular drive. This is a drive, which I have it there. I gave this particular PDF, it read it. Okay. And then I also said that, write a hypothetical epic and 5 user stories for satisfying a, criteria of a good user. Okay, good user stories and epic. So it gave me a hypothetical epic, and then epic description, acceptance criteria, and user stories along with it. Then I applied the similar thing, and then I added some more, let's say I took up this particular toyo.com website and I asked it to create epics referring to this particular each section of the page and user stories for this website. See, it gave me a output. Okay, so what am I trying to do? I'm trying to make it process the content which is there in the PDF, which would take a lot of time. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to automate these things. I don't have to read that particular PDF, but the AI can do the PDF, and it can use the information that is there in that particular PDF and give you a right output. Right. And then I went it on like, creating user stories further. I asked it like, go section by section and then start writing the user stories much more in detail. Like, I asked a technical user story for authentication, right? So it gave me all the user story, how it looks like, and an acceptance criteria. And then it says, it asked me at the question, is there any specific details? Would you like to explore more technical stories? I said yes. And then it gave me further, like, retrieve user credentials from the existing database of an email and a password. Then it gave me all this particular details. You see, okay, isn't it a useful tool for a product owner?
Yeah, Chandra, it is great. Chandra, it is great. I am really amazed to see the power of this tool, the way you have shown the stories. Just one thing, right, I would say, definitely, but we are running short of time also. Right, so you need to be quick enough.
Sure. Okay. So, okay, now creating presentations. This is very, very important, right? Okay. And we know this is just a demo. Say, for example, there is a slide.ai.io. So people know prompt engineering is all about just giving a prompt and it gives you an output. Okay, but look at this one. Let me show you this, right? So it says, see, the prompt is this, right? The prompt is generate a slide on how edutech companies are making money through online courses. Use Byju's.com or Unacademy, okay, as examples, and key in all the relevant numbers from the market slides, and need slides for market pitch for a company. so that I can invest in this edtech companies. And if you see, I've made so many mistakes, right? In terms of I've highlighted those particular spelling mistakes just to demonstrate that ChatGPT can actually correct it itself. So it need not have to type the correct spelling. It understands your intentions, and it gave me an output. Okay, this is the output that you're seeing, but you can go to slide.ai, which is like slide.new, and then you can download this, enable this particular this one, and it gives you this kind of an output. But the same thing, okay, there is one more tool. This is not ChatGPT. Okay, this is we're using a Tom, right? There is a tool called Tom. Okay, as a company, I need to invest 10 crore in Indian market. I need to detailed, like, missed here. Okay, detailed comparison of Byju's and an academy of any other any other edutech company, data compared and suggest the best investment opportunity. Use facts and figures data from the public domains. So when I gave it, this also gave me a almost 6 slider, and then it finally recommended that an academy, why it is. Okay, I'm not getting into the details of it, but this is an output. Can you believe AI can actually prepare presentations within seconds? Okay, the third one, that's where most people use it, which is like gamma.ai. Okay, the same prompt I gave it to here, and look at how it used the same Byju's and an academy, and finally it gave me a concluding step. And all the images that uses it here, it's of course it's private for you. You can use it. They're not copywritten. Okay, and this gave me a complete output. So 3 tools that I showed you, right? So can you tell me now? Can you be 5 times faster than of your version? By using this particular tools, okay, to generate interesting and content. And then of course, like I told you, I started with this particular PPT, but later on edited, added more content, and then came up with this particular presentation that you're actually seeing. Okay. So basically crafting a chat GPT for a career transition. This is what I told you, right? So for a career transition, say for example, you wanted to become a product owner. Like I was trying to do that. I was trying to become a product owner. So I asked it, so what chat GPT can do is it can actually help you. Okay, it can help you as an agent. Okay, only thing that you need to do is, okay, I'll go into show you one more example of I wanted to DevOps training. See, for example, okay, whatever I've trained, I'll do it. But for example, look at this prompt. I said DevOps. See, what does it tells me? Okay, it has to give me a definition, right? By default, when it says fantastics, let's keep the momentum up. How is your journey since the discussions? Have you started a chance to implement basic CI/CD pipeline, work on the JIT and explore the Docker? I said yes. The moment I say yes, and then it tells me, great to hear that you have made progress. And then it tells me the feedback, strengths of CI/CD, areas of improvement. Okay, next steps, what we need to do. And then it gives me a free resource, right, to learn this particular course. Okay, this is there in that somewhere. So this is my agent. How did I train this particular agent? Okay, I told, act as a highly experienced DevOps architect or an engineer, okay, who specializes in creating DevOps engineers in enterprise continuous integration and continuous deployment, okay, agent based out of India. So I told it, gave me all this particular answer. And then I said, okay, you need to act as my coach, guide me throughout my college days. Okay, every day, once I come and type DevOps, that's why the moment I said DevOps, you need to ask me questions, what I'm working on or learning on. Once I answer, you need to ask me any relevant questions that give you more clarity. Keep asking me till you get enough context. So I'm giving a chance for a ChatGPT to ask me more questions so that it understands the context better and it gives me a right answers. And this is my 3rd day on it. Okay, then it told me this. Okay, once you answer all these questions, you need to give me 3 things. One is feedback, next step, and one free resource that I can refer for learning. Okay, this is, isn't it a great thing? Like, in the similar way, when we say that, you can use a chat GPT 4, this is 4. In fact, you can do this in 3 also. Okay, it can become your agent for your career transition. Now, of course, I've been telling that, chat GPT would help, students to do amazing. Like my own score has increased from, 7.6, 7.6 CGPA to like, 9.3. Okay, in the matter of like, 6 months. Like, how did it help? How did it happen? So this is what, prompt engineering is all about. So in a nutshell, prompt engineering is all about assigning a role, setting the context, okay, and then setting the constraints. See, basically, this is the machine. Patience assumes that, for example, you wanted particular solutions. It assumes that, you have unlimited number of employees, you have unlimited number of resources, and, unlimited amount of time. That is where, one important thing that you need to set it. I have only 30 minutes in a day, say for example, to spend and learn on myself. Then it has to give me, and you have to tell that, okay, I need an answers in a very precise and a concise manner so that I can finish that. Okay, those are the things that, that's very important. And set expectations, and then the outputs. So these are like, the main checklist for a prompt engineering. And of course, see, this is a core version. Like, let me open up a new chat. When I open up a new chat, see, ChatGPT gives me an option of default, browse, okay, with, and then advanced, and then plugins. So when I click on plugins, okay, it tells me what all plugins that I know I have, right? I have doc maker, smart slider, browser app, AI, AI PDF, access to PDF, and all that particular things. And I've done certain work on it. Okay, I'd like to show it. Say, for example, I gave an image. Okay, let's say I gave this particular processing, some payment processing, or like, some authentication process. I told, get me a Java code for this different module, act as a software as architect, and assume everything. See, it told me user, mobile device, and server, and this gives me a Java code. I did not run it in any of the environments to check the correctness of it, but it gave me. And the similar way, when I gave another image, okay, it can translate this entire image into a code. You see, I asked it to, read this particular image and said, help me implement the code in Python for all the models. Okay, establish a relationship between the modules. See, it gave me all the definitions that is needed in the beginning. And then it gave me a kind of a sample image. And then I asked it further. It asked me, do you want to continue on it? I said, no, I just, for this demonstration sake, I used. So I can just attach this particular image, it can do. And another important thing which uh, I did, right? So basically, with respect to data analytics. So in case of data analytics, I provided a Excel. Okay, I provided an Excel, okay, for of a Titanic survivor data set. Okay, and I asked it to process the data and summarize the insights. See, it gave me, and it gave me, in fact, the code that how it does inside. Okay, and it also gave me an output also. Okay, how many tickets and all those particular things. And finally, it handled, and it gave me a output. Tell me, is it not revolutionary, or just to understand? Okay, I have to redo that, but it gave me in terms of the graphs and everything. It gave me the output. Okay, which I can just say that people in the first class had a survival rate of 52. It gave me in the form of a graph and things like that. Of course, now I cannot do that because I need to rerun this particular entire code. It reads the Excel. It computes the data on its own. It gives you an analytics, cleans the data on its own. And this is the power of, let's say, the prompt engineering, or the ChatGPT 4. These are the features of the pro version of a ChatGPT. Okay, that we can actually expect. I think I started. Yeah. Alternatives for ChatGPT, of course, we have Google Bard, Perplexity, okay, and Talk to Pi, your personal AI, or Llama, which is from a Facebook, right? Or even Apple is also planning to come up with Apple ChatGPT, but we don't know. No, Apple has not confirmed it. But these are the websites, that is that you can do. That's where Apple does not have it. But you have all this particular website, which is an alternative for ChatGPT. Okay, and everybody is actually, all these particular companies are going towards. Okay, and then where do I find tools? Say, for example, I showed you three tools, right? One is Gamma, other one is like Tome, and slides.ai. But where can I find all the rest of the slides? I can go to futurepedia.io, okay, or AI Valley, or Super Tools, the rundown.ai. This is where it will give you all the SS, like the prompts, SS SAS prompts. Okay, it will give me all the tools that are coming up in the market. Okay, and you can actually refer to it. Okay, and then which are the tools that are newly used, will it be useful for you? Okay, all that thing, it will give. So this is the encyclopedia of AI tools, and these are the website that has list of the most recent AI tools that are getting delivered. Of course, most of the tools are good, are easy to try, and you can do it. But of course, if you wanted advanced features and everything, it will be commercialized, right? So, but at an initial stage, if you wanted to really know whether it'll be useful or not, you can definitely use this particular tools. Okay, so and by saying that, of course, applications are various. Okay, I did not have to tell that AI being used in every company that we talk about. Okay, let me conclude. Okay, by stating that, of course, the AI and humans are partnership. In a new era of innovations, efficiency, and shared growth together. We are better. Okay, it is not others are enemies of other ones, right? So that's why, I would conclude by telling that ChatGPT is going to here to stay, and you can really do a lot of cool stuff. Okay, not only cool stuff, you can really use it for your the productivity. You can become 5x version of it. You can how I told you that you need not have to start from the scratch. You can always start one step ahead, so that way you're always staying ahead. Okay, so people who do not learn ChatGPT or prompt engineering are the ones who would be left out. So that's where AI is not going to replace, but the person who knows AI is the person who's going to be replacing this particular one. And of course, I don't have to say much. Of course, in Agile world also, I use a ChatGPT a lot. Okay, in fact, saves SPC 6.0, whatever the knowledge base is there. I trained a ChatGPT model, and I can ask a question, and it will give me a right context. And also it can tell me a context in terms of the use, the story level. Okay, which will like, wow, that it uses even SPC 6.0. Okay, that is all. Okay, and of course, we as a company, I work for Altimetric. I'm an enterprise agile coach. Okay, we are pure play digital business company because we are expert in retail, consumer, and supply chain, and we are 5,500 plus people. Of course, it's the best company so far to work with, because we have won at least a lot of a great place to work organizations so far. So we are in the top 10 or top 25 in most of the areas. Okay, that's Altimetric for you. That's my parent company where I work on as an agile coach. Okay, and I think with that note, I would say thank you. And if you have any questions, I can take questions.
Thank you, Chandrasekhar, for the wonderful session. Thank you so much. Now we are open for the quick questions. We will start the next topic at 6:25. And now we can have the questions. So guys, you can ask your questions on the chat, and Chandra can directly respond.
But before you ask a question, so anybody would like to have any comment on?
So one question they have asked: how did you attach Excel to ChatGPT? If you would like to answer on that.
Yes, see, ChatGPT, you can actually attach it, because that's an option in a pro version, right? In a pro version, if you just open up a new chat, okay, I can say in ChatGPT 4, okay, and then here I have to choose advanced data analytics, right? If I choose an advanced data analytics, it will give me a prompt like plus. I can click and attach an Excel. And the same thing, if I don't want a pro analytics, I can browse with images or things like that, or just a default, you see by default, I can attach images.
Okay, I hope that I have answer. Right, going to the next one, where to refer to the APIs here, where we can refer to the APIs of the ChatGPT.
You can refer to the APIs, but that's, what you need to do is you need to go to the lots of course, plugins are available, but how can we really integrate with it? At this point of time, I'm not sure about it, but I can find out. But of course, you all have my LinkedIn profile to connect with later on. Okay, you can always reach out. I'll definitely help that.
Okay, so few folks are asking on the pricing licensing of ChatGPT Pro.
ChatGPT 4 is of course $23, monthly. ChatGPT 4, $23. So it can give you, like, if I go to the plugins, right, it gives me a lot of more plugin store. So there are a lot of a plugin for, like, super fast interactive chat with PDFs of any size and a complete page. This is a plugin that does so that way you can you get all these particular features in a paid one, which is like $23.6 per month.
Thanks. Next question is from Priyanka. She is asking on any resources how to learn ChatGPT prompt engineering.
Prompt engineering, there are lots of resources. Okay. There is a website called SAS Prompt, right? I was trying to just show here, sasprompts.com. Okay, or the links that, it's there in the PPT. I think if you can share this particular PPT, there are lots of links, which will tell us, like, from where you can get all this particular prompts ready-made already. And in the LinkedIn, of course, there are lots of enthusiasts who are actually trying to paste this particular prompts for free. So you can do that, but you can create your own prompts, because every prompt is what you are specific to your problem. It is not generic in nature, right? Generic in nature is Googling, right? But any prompt is that you can create. But you need to understand that 4 things when it comes to the prompt engineering. It is what you want the ChatGPT to do, what is the context, how you want the output, and give it some sort of an examples. It will give you an answer, so that will become your prompt, and then you keep on refining it. I mean, any prompt. And one more important thing in case of a ChatGPT is that, okay, the chats that you get, or that is stored, okay, in case of your day-to-day basis, okay, they get stored here. Okay, each of this particular chat do not interact with each other. So for example, if you're working only on DevOps, I have to go onto the DevOps, and the moment you saw my prompt, the moment it said DevOps, it'll give me more content based on how it is trained. It is a continuous process. It keeps on. So all these particular things are your agents. These are called agents, and these agents always, they get better over a period of time when you keep on prompting. The AI actually understands the way how you wanted an answer. Say, I wanted an answer in the form of every story. Okay, anything that I need to explain in the form of a story. So it gave me all the answers. So that's where you can get used to. This is important feature of ChatGPT, and this is available even for a free 3.5 also, free version of ChatGPT.
Okay. Thanks for this, Chandra. Now we have another question. Is there any IA tool that preserves information that can let you take notes, upload images, audios, documents, work with that information as ChatGPT? Is there any other tool?
Yes. There was a tool. I recently uninstalled it because I linked it with my Google Meet. Okay, it so happened that in one of the association meeting, they sent a Google Meet invite for my this one, and it recorded the all the conversation, and it sent out the script for all the people. It was like, I mean, I did not attend that particular meeting, but the moment an invite is actually sent, I accept it. That tool invokes automatically, and it records whatever that happens, whatever that has been discussed. It was an online meeting. It records the entire transcript, and it will give you an answer. Say, for example, you can copy paste that particular like entire transcript into ChatGPT and ask it, okay, make a high level meeting, minutes of meeting. It will give you that. So
Thanks.
It's mix and match of these tools. You can do it. Of course, there are lots of tools, and I told you there is a repository of all these particular tools. In the slide, you can actually visit them. Like encyclopedia, that is Futurepedia. Like remember these symbols: Futurepedia, AI Valley. Okay, there are lots of tools you can go to. Okay, and you'll get all the answers. Or
Okay.
I mean the tools that are introduced just now are things like that.
Thanks,
Let's
Chandra,
see.
for your answers. These were useful for the audience, I believe. Thank you so much. Now, I would request, like, if you can share your link on the chat, so on the LinkedIn profile on the chat, so that audience can connect with you. They can have any further questions they can ask you there. Guys, you can, I believe, like, you have liked this session, right? You can directly give some feedback to Chandra Reddy on his LinkedIn. You can do that. Now it's time to facilitate our speaker, right? So I'm just sharing my screen. Okay. You can also give the feedback. There is it's on the screen now. Are you able to see? So this is a certificate of appreciation from SS Agile Guru. Satish and Sharad, you want to say something?
Thank you for providing me an opportunity to speak first. Okay, but I hope I kept that particular momentum and connect for the future sessions as well.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Chandra. The survey just we rolled out, it itself says, like, the kind of session we have just now. Lots of insights, with live examples that I have been, that's what I have been communicating in the groups also. Thanks so much for the great session.
Thank you. I'll post this in the chat. Okay, people can connect me on the LinkedIn for further more details. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you. Now,